Welcome to the Teacher and the Pro, where we dive into PGA professionals' journeys and the paths that they've chosen within the golf industry. I'm Nathan Rarick, an elementary PE teacher and a golf writer for Fair to Green, an equitable sports media company. Joining us this episode is Dan Kilgore, the first assistant golf professional at Hazeltine National Golf Club. Dan talks about his journey to becoming a PGA professional after considering a career as a history professor. He then shares insights into how Hazeltine is preparing for the KPMG Women's PGA Championship and gives his prediction for the winner. Thanks for joining us. I know it's just getting that into the golf season. I know being a golf professional is pretty busy. And before we get into you and your 10 years of being a golf professional, I kind of want to go back to where it started and what got you into the game of golf. Was it a family member? Was it an event you watched on TV? What was that first draw to the game?
Yeah, it goes back to my dad. He was a club champion back in his local town course in central Minnesota back in the 80s. And so, he grew up loving the game, and I've had some sort of club in my hand basically as long as I've been able to walk, using those plastic clubs when I was 2 years old and going to the local par three course with my dad growing up. And then I caddied for most of my youth. So I grew up in a place called Duluth, Minnesota, up on the western tip of Lake Superior. And I caddied up there through 8th grade at a place called Northland Country Club, which is a fabulous Donald Ross golf course right up in northern Minnesota. And then high school down in the Twin Cities, I caddied at a place called the White Bear Yacht Club. So I really grew up caddying, grew up playing the game with my dad, and then went to college at the University of Minnesota and didn't go the PGM college route. I took a little bit of a different route to get into the program, but I got my degree in history at the University of Minnesota, and the U at the time had a golf course, and they mostly hired students to work that golf course. So I worked there for 4 years throughout college and just really fell in love with the business there. I spent time as a starter on the first tee, as a ranger. I ran leagues there. I spent time behind the desk there in the golf shop. So really got to know different aspects of a golf operation at the U's golf course. And it's really been from there. We can get into this if you want, but I got out of it after college for a year, and I actually went to a PhD program in Washington, D.C. and thought about becoming a history professor.
Professor.
Thought about becoming a history professor. Yeah. I love reading books. I still love reading books. I read a bunch of them.
I mean, that's the whole point of this podcast is every PGA professional I've talked to so far has a different path. And to yours was you were considering going to get your doctorate. I don't know if I'm going to meet another one going to consider that and then realizing, no, I want to go back into the game of golf. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it was different. It was cool. And I realized after a year in a PhD program, I liked reading books, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to spend the next 40 years of my life writing and in a library. And I still love the university atmosphere, but I love being at golf a little bit more. So what I actually did is I moved back from Washington, D.C. to Minnesota and just started looking for a job in golf. I missed it. I missed being at a golf course every day. I missed that being my office, and just started reaching out to local club pros saying, hey, do you need help? Here's my experience. I caddied growing up. I worked at a golf course, public golf course at the U for 4 years. And one gentleman named Clayton Johnson, who's the head golf professional at Delwood Country Club in the Northeast Twin Cities area, said, yeah, we could use the help, and put me on and kind of stuck me in the golf shop for the year. And I kept loving it and entered the PGA program from there and just kept developing my career. So I tried to get away from the game, but it kept calling me back. So it was pretty cool to get back into it.
Yeah, that's a really cool story. And I know, again, like I've said, I've talked to a couple of people that have done your path and gone to the kind of self-learning, self-taught program. And how difficult is that? Like, was it difficult to do that and working, I don't know, a full-time job at the same time? How did you balance both?
Yeah, it's tough. And I'm sure other people have told you about what the program entails, but you have an entry level thing so an entry level test, that's basically the history of the PGA of America, as well as the rules of golf. So you pass that to get into the program. And then there's 3 levels from there. And it is a week of seminars. And then there's a ton of book work involved. It's homework, essentially, involving a bunch of different aspects. Is golf operations is the route I took. And that's running a golf shop. It's teaching lessons, it's running events, and some of it is book work, some of it is spreadsheets, and some of it is documenting what you're actually doing, which is the nice part. So you're at a golf course, you're tasked with running an event, documenting it, taking pictures, sending out results, And so that stuff I was doing anyway. So that part is easy. But getting down to PGA Frisco for a week of seminars is not possible where I am in Minnesota in the summer. So I was down there January, February every year, taking that week and then coming back and doing what I could in the winter when we were a little slower and getting the spreadsheets done and all of that. And then in the summer, that's when you're giving your lessons and you're running your events and you're doing all of these work experience things to document and to turn your book work in. When I was really actively doing it, I was done about one level a year, and it would basically be go down and around Christmas, kind of Christmas, January time for the seminar. You're down there for a week, come home, hammer out all the bookwork you could through late March. Then season starts, and just that's the hardest part is when you're in the swing of things and you're running an event, making sure you're documenting things right. When you're trying to get a 140 person shotgun out, the first thing on your mind isn't always, oh yeah, I need to take a picture of this cart setup for my bookwork or whatever it might be. But staying on top of it, I've had really great mentors that have encouraged me through the program, and I think that's been a huge help. When I'm in the thick of it running the tournament, I've had Connor Bergman at Northland Country Club, and now my current head golf professional at Hazeltine, his name is Kyle Brandt, have really been helping me, just making sure that I don't forget it, and taking pictures for me and helping me if I need to give a lesson, making sure we get that done, because we're in the thick of the operation as assistant golf professionals, and we're really running the day-to-day while our head golf professionals are overseeing a larger operation, and they've just kept me on track. So that's been a huge benefit.
That was kind of just leads right into my next question. And Hazeltine is one of the most well-known golf courses in the news. I mean, Ryder Cups, majors, you have a women's major coming up in June. I mean, how many assistant golf professionals are on staff at Hazeltine? Is it a ton? Is it you and only a couple? What does the staff look like there?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're obviously very seasonal being in Minnesota. We're open typically mid-April through Halloween, the golf course, the championship golf courses. But we actually built some indoor facilities to keep us to be as much of a 12-month golf facility as we can be in Minnesota. So we built what's called our Golf Performance Center. And that is 7 indoor TrackMan hitting bays. 5 of them are indoor-outdoor with garage. It's got about a 1,500 square foot indoor putting green. So we've got an interesting operation because we stay busy in the winter, just in a different way. So what we do is we have our head golf professional, Kyle Brandt, and we've had almost a 5-headed monster who reports to him. It's myself as first assistant, and I have 3 assistant golf professionals and 2 interns under me, but also reporting to Kyle, we do have a full-time merchandise manager. We do have an outside operations manager that reports directly to Kyle, and we have a golf performance center manager as well. So there's your 4, and then we have a caddy manager that reports to him. So we've got 5 people that report directly to Kyle. In terms of actual golf professionals that we have on staff, there are 5 of us in the summer, and then in the winter that shrinks down to 2 of us. But we have other departments in the golf sub-departments in the golf department that really are active at different times a year.
Okay. I'm in New York, and I understand that we're just getting a golf season now with all this rain. So it's got to be tough. I always ask people, what do you do? I talked to a golf professional here in New York. I was like, what does it look like in the winter? And again, we're not Hazeltine. We're just a small club in New York. And he was like, well, we have like 2 simulator rooms and that's it. I'm like, oh, so the 7 and the putting green. I mean, that's a great idea. And again, I've heard Minnesota is cold in the winter, but still, people still want to golf. So, and if you can do that at Hazeltine, why not?
We have about a third of our membership goes down south, and that's a rough estimate. But so we have some snowbirds, but we have plenty of people at Hazeltine who don't take those trips. They have families, they're still working, whatever it is. They don't go down south for 5-6 months a year, and we want to give them a reason to be at the club and keep a golf club in their hands, keep swinging, don't get rusty. So our goal was to really become a 12-month a year golf club in Minnesota. And we're lucky. It's a beautiful facility. It just opened in December. So we're going on about 6 months of it being open, but it's been a smash hit, busiest place on property in the winter. There's no doubt.
That's great. I mean, and this may lead into some of your answer for the next one. Maybe not.
Yeah.
But what would you say are some highs and lows of being a PGA professional?
Yeah, that's a great question. I'm very privileged in what I do. I love coming to work every day. I tell people I have the best office views in the city. I get to come to Hazeltine National. I get paid to be at a place that a lot of other people would do a lot to be at. We have a sign
Yes.
in our team room, or it's in our downstairs hallway where our team walks in. It says, "Today is somebody's bucket list." And the whole premise of it is we're lucky enough to spend our time, our working hours at a place that so many people would be so thrilled to be at just for one day. So I don't know if I have one single high, but I am incredibly lucky to spend my days at Hazeltine, spend my days with our fantastic membership who are just like me. They're golf sickos, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. That's kind of
Yeah.
what I call them. We're a golf club at Hazeltine. So all we do is golf and food and beverage. We don't have a pool. We don't have any racket sports, nothing like that. So if you want to be at
Okay.
Hazeltine, you have to love golf. You want to
Yeah.
be in it. So I know, even if I've never met you before, I know someone who walks in those doors of the golf shop. I have something in common with you before we've even met. We both love golf. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be in. So, that's really, I consider myself very lucky. Some days are longer than others. And that's probably, I would say, the biggest challenge of being a golf professional in the summer. We have 14, 15 hours of daylight in Minnesota in the summer.
Yeah.
And when you're running your invitational or your member, they can be long days, but they're great
Yeah.
days nonetheless. I am sitting at the scoreboard for 6 hours and scoring tournaments, whatever it might be. Well, my office view is still Lake Hazeltine and the 9th and 18th hole at Hazeltine National Golf Club. I'm incredibly lucky to have that, but
Yeah.
you get worn down over the course of the summer. I spend a ton of time with my family in the winter
Mhm.
because as much as I try to strike a work-life balance in the summer, I do work longer hours in the summer. And my
Yeah.
wife knows what she signed up for. I was already a golf professional when we got married. Our little daughter, she'll get used to it. I bring her to the club when I can and show her the membership. My 18-hole ladies league always loves to hear about how our daughter's doing, our 11-month
There you
old.
go.
So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool. And our membership's great. They get it. My boss, Kyle, gets it. He tries to give us 5-day work weeks whenever he can. Sometimes it's not possible. We're too busy.
Yeah.
So it's the longer hours that are probably the biggest challenge. But when you put things in perspective to what I get to do every day and just talk golf, just like we're doing now, talking about golf, being at a golf course all day, every day, it's not too bad.
No, I mean, like you said, your view of the 9th and 18th hole at Hazeltine you could have a lot worse view than that. I
Totally.
mean, I'm a teacher, so I understand. I'm in a classroom, I'm in the gymnasium all day, and I'm like, man, and it's nice that I can go outside and everything, but yeah, to be able to work at a golf with, yeah, that's a great privilege, like you said. And hopefully there are other PGA professionals listening or aspiring PGA professionals listening to this when this episode comes out. What would be your biggest piece of advice to an aspiring PGA professional?
Yeah, that's a great question as well. The one thing that I always tell people who are getting into the industry is if you just love playing golf, this might not be the job for you.
Hmm.
In peak season, if I play golf once a week, I'm pretty happy. We hosted the US Amateur in 2024, and that was in August. I didn't touch my golf clubs once in the month of August.
Yeah.
We were too busy. It didn't happen. But if you love being around the game of golf, this is the best industry in the world. I mean, if you love talking, if you love having those office views, if you love talking about teaching or equipment or golf courses, this is perfect because you're around a bunch of like-minded people. You're around a bunch of people who love golf. So you need to love all aspects of the game, even if you're not playing it. If you just like to play it, there are a bunch of wonderful careers that will allow you to actually play more golf than we get to play. And again, my
Yeah.
boss, Kyle, is wonderful in trying to get us out on the golf course as much as he can. He tries to have us involved with actually playing golf or teaching golf as much as possible. So we have a club in our hands and we're not just folding shirts and answering phones. But there are certain times of the year where it's just not. I never play golf hardly more than twice a week. And that's if I'm playing golf more than twice a week, I'm on a trip in the winter with my family. But at every single day I come to work and I'm talking about Scotty Cameron putters, or I'm talking about the latest golf course architecture news, or the new driver that's coming out. And that's what I love. I get to talk about my interests, because if I wasn't getting paid to do that, I would be going to some other job and then still finding a way to talk about that. So two birds with one stone, I guess.
Yeah, no, and that's been the consensus is the hardest part is the hours are long and
Yeah.
we try to get out there and play golf, but it's tough. And especially like you said in Minnesota where your golf season is limited, it just makes those summer months and summer days that much longer. But also, like you said, fun, the golf sicko, right? We're recording this Monday right after the men's PGA championship just recorded. And
Yeah.
I've been listening to podcasts all morning about the setup of the course and just like trying to soak it all in because I think I'm fine with how they set it up, but just being able to go listen to hear other people's thoughts on it is enjoyable. So to be able to have those conversations with your members or again, showing your daughter off to the ladies tea like group, like that's fun. Like that's a fun part that some people don't get to do at their everyday job.
Yeah, totally. And it speaks to our membership at Hazeltine that they quote get it. They care about our team members as people and not just as employees. If I had $1 for every time I got asked about Juliet, our daughter, I would put a lot more money in my 401k. They care about us. They want to make sure that we're doing great. When we have big parties after our men's invitational, our women's invitational, and our member, and our wives are encouraged to come to those. And my wife is welcome to come say hi when she wants. And people are asking to see pictures of my daughter, and it's cool. And if I have to go see my parents for a weekend and we're taking a family vacation and I'm gone for a few days, they get it. I don't come back and they're not asking where I was or anything like that. I've got a great team supporting me that can take care of the needs while I'm gone. And they're supportive if I need a couple days to go visit family or something like that.
That's great. And I'm gonna have to ask about the KPMG here in a month or so. And again, you just mentioned the great team and great members. What has it been like now that golf season is officially underway? Are the members playing the course right now, or is it off limits till after the women's PGA?
So we opened mid-April, which is pretty typical for Hazeltine. The tournament itself is the 25th through the 28th of June. So we've got a little over a month to go. We'll be playing golf on the course until the 14th of June. So there will be about 10 days between when the golf course closes and when the tournament starts, where there's going to be no golf for about a week and then practice rounds will start. But the build out has been going on for over a week at this point. So behind our 9 and 18th greens, which are next to each other, there's going to be a big ring grandstand, and that's been going up. And the PGA of America has been on site for months already, of course. And some of them are just staying on site until we host a Ryder Cup in 29. So some of them will have just moved here and are staying on site. So there's been months, if not years, of preparation going into it. But in terms of what's actually affecting the members right now, there's some construction out there. They get it. The par threes, we're protecting some tees, so we'll move tees around a little more than we normally do. There's some hole locations that you won't see as frequently, so there's not plugs for what they're considering for tournament hole locations. But there's not a ton of disruption to what the members are doing. They do kindly sacrifice their golf course for about half a month in June, which isn't nothing, especially in Minnesota where the season's only 6-7 months long. But our membership really embraces that as well. At Hazeltine, our mission statement is to provide exceptional experiences and to host championship golf. The club was founded in 1962 with the mission of hosting championship golf. It's what we do. And so when you join and you become a member at Hazeltine, that's what you're signing up for. It doesn't come as a surprise to know that we hosted the USAM in 2024. We're hosting KPMG in 2026. We're hosting Ryder Cup in 2029.
Crazy slate of events.
And we're hopefully getting more. And that's what our membership wants. That's what we do. It's what we thrive in. Our membership embraces it. It's not a burden, but it's part of the culture. It's part of the mission to be a championship golf course, to host the best players in the world every few years. And it does come as a minor inconvenience in terms of losing golf, and it takes a wear and tear on your actual golf course. But it's not a surprise. We want to do that. We want to be on the national stage. We want to challenge the best players in the world, and our membership is all on board with that.
Yeah, and as we get, are you looking forward to certain holes that the women are going to be playing? Do you have 2 or 3 favorite holes maybe that you think will challenge the players that a viewer like myself won't know going into the tournament?
Yeah, yeah, of course. The women's game is going to be fascinating to watch, right? Because
Yeah.
they're going to play around a similar distance that our typical men's tee is. So they're not playing our golf course. This is a little bit of a tangent, but one day a year at Hazeltine, we host a tournament called the Blue Tee, and we stretch out the golf course as long as we can. We pick hole locations from a past championship round that we've hosted. Last year, it played 7,952 yards.
It's
And so
impossible.
but we have over 100 people sign up to do this. We do it one day a year. We don't normally have tees back there, but we do it one day a year,
Yeah.
just to see what that challenge is like. So that golf course can be huge. Our tournament, it is around 7,600 yards. The ladies, getting back on track, it's not going to be that way, right? It's going to be more in I don't know exactly what it'll be, but it'll probably be in the 65 to 6,700 yard range, right?
Yeah.
And that's what our typical male member plays. Those are our male member tees, is in that yardage.
Yeah.
So they're going to be playing a game which I'm more familiar. They're
Yep.
just a lot better at it than I am.
Yeah.
But I would tell you that the 16th hole is what people would call our signature hole. It's a shorter par 4 that wraps around Lake Hazeltine. So if you miss it to the right, you're in the lake. There's actually a creek that runs up the left. If you miss it left, you're in the creek. And then the green's a peninsula, so there's really nowhere to miss it there. But if you hit a good drive, it's a scoring opportunity. So if you hit a good drive in the middle of the fairway, you're going to have a wedge into that green. Those ladies are so precise with their wedges that
Yeah.
if they can hit that fairway, there's an opportunity to make birdie there. I think my other favorite hole on the golf course is hole number 7. It's a par 5. It's dogleg right. And then short of the green, there's a pond front left, and there's 3 bunkers on the right side. And that's a risk reward par 5. When I hit it well, and I've got a serious decision to make, as a lot of our guys do when we play just our member events out there, it's if you hit a good drive, you might have anywhere from 200 to 225 left but it's over a pond and it's a firm green. Those are every day is a championship at Hazeltine. Our greens are going to be firm, assuming the weather allows that. Greens are going to be firm. It's hard to maybe hold that green with a 5-wood in your hands or a 5-iron in your hands. So it's going to be fun to see if the ladies elect to go for that. And if they do, how they take that on. How are they holding greens with a 5-wood, or how are they holding a green with a hybrid or a long iron? I think that number 7 is going to be one to watch. And if you don't get it there, you're dropping for 4 and you got 60 yards over a pond to get up and down for par.
No thanks. All right. Again, we're recording this about, like you said, a month before the PGA, the women's PGA. I'm going to ask you because I have to ask you the question. Who was your pick to win at Hazeltine this year?
Yeah, that's a great question. Hannah Green won in 2019. She's been playing great golf. I'm going to pick Hannah Green. I find myself pulling for her because she's a past champion at Hazeltine. So I'm going to pick her again. I know that's probably chalk out. Also, this is not exactly going out on a limb, but my wife would tell me that Nelly Korda is going to win. Who's also been playing great golf. So that's not exactly a spicy take or anything like that, but they are 2 of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
Hannah's got history here. Nelly is right at the top and one of the most well-known female golfers, if not the most well-known female golfer in the world. So it would be pretty cool to have either one of them win.
Yeah, I think winning there has to give you just a good feeling going there and just a step above the competition. I mean, it's just a natural thing. Hannah Green, and she's been playing really well, like you said. I mean, I covered in my other podcast, she's probably been the 3rd best player behind Nelly. You could argue 2nd best player behind Nelly all year. And as we wrap up here, we got to get to our rapid fire segment. So this is the fairway rapid fire questions. They are quick, just top off the head, right off your head. Quick questions, all have to do with the game of golf.
Awesome.
All right. Your dream course to play.
I think everybody's going to say Augusta. So I'm going to go off the board. This isn't exactly off the board. I'm going to say the old course. I would love to get to Scotland. I would love to see the old course, but I want to play it both ways. They play it reversed once a year. So I want to play it the quote unquote regular way. And then I want to play it reversed. Never been to Scotland, but that's on the bucket list.
The first person to say anyone outside of the States, like you said, Augusta. Cyprus has been one up there, but no one said the old course, which again would be a cool place to play. It's just the history of it all would be amazing.
If I had to go a golf course in the United States outside of Augusta National, I think I would pick National Golf Links of America.
Yeah, that's a
Never
good one.
been there, but
Yeah.
would love to see it.
The pictures and the videos are just like, yep, it's perfect. It's just
It's
perfect.
incredible. And as a history major, it was so
There,
important
yeah.
to the development of golf course architecture in the States. So I'll go national if I have to pick one in America.
Okay. Your favorite on-course golf snack?
That's a good question. At Hazeltine, we've got a shack, and it's so you between 4 and 5 and between 13 and 14, you pass it twice. And we actually have a chef out there, and every Saturday he does fillet sliders. So it's a little piece of fillet steak on a Hawaiian bun with some chipotle aioli and some caramelized onions. I'll go fillet slider with a runner up just being like an Uncrustable.
Yeah.
To go around the BJ out there.
The fillet slider sounds pretty good on the golf course.
It's pretty darn good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff, I'll give him a shout out. Jeff is our chef that's out there. We call him Dr. Delicious. So
Okay.
5 days a week, he's out there serving up some pretty good food.
Amazing. Are you an early morning tee time or sunset round person?
Early morning. Now that I've got a daughter, I'm up at 6 in the morning anyway.
Yeah.
So I might as well go play golf. And that way you can go have lunch or have some food with whoever you played with and reminisce on the round.
There you go. Your favorite club in the bag?
Have my Titleist GT7 wood that I absolutely love. Yeah, I know. I put one in the bag like
it's like the big thing now. So it's not like I haven't thought of it yet, but I feel like I have to because everyone is using them, even PGA Tour Pro. Like
it's
Tommy Fleetwood's using it. Like, why am I not using it?
Yeah, I just think, why would I ever hit a 4-iron again when I can hit that thing? It's like a cheat code. I've got a lot of confidence with my 7 wood. I'll go that.
Okay. Who would be in your dream foursome to play golf with?
I will put my wife for sure. She's really gotten the golf bug the last 5 or 6 years and really getting into it. So I'll definitely Taylor. My dad, he's got me into golf. I always enjoy playing golf with him. And then I don't know if this counts. My daughter's 11 months old, but assuming she plays golf when she gets older, I'll put her in there.
That is allowed. For sure.
I'm a family guy first, so I will put my wife, my daughter, and my dad. That sounds like a pretty good round.
I will say you're the first person. Like, I've had some people say like their significant other and their dad, but they've always left one for Arnold Palmer, Tiger Woods, Jack, and like no one said 3 family, but I like it. The 3 family members. Yeah, it's again, I would play with my grandpa and my dad, and some of it, that's again how I got started. And it's the best, it's a family game, and that's really cool. And the last one I have for you is your favorite golf movie.
The greatest game ever played. It's a great.
Yes, thank you.
It's a great mix. Like I said, history major in college. It's a great mix of being about golf and also shining a light on an interesting period of history in both the game of golf and the United States around the turn of the 20th century.
It's again, I think one other person has said that, and I'm just like, come on, that's like, it's so good. I will watch it all whenever it's on. I'm like, yep, I'm watching it. Like, as I've seen it.
I could watch that movie once a week. It's so well done, and the history behind Francis Weem winning that U.S. Open is so incredible. I'll definitely go that. Happy Gilmore obviously is good too, but different styles of movie.
Yeah, no, that's my favorite one too. And yeah, great. I mean, these are some great answers here and then some great advice earlier. And again, Dan, thanks for coming on. I know the day off, it's you maybe don't want to be doing this. So I do thank you for taking your time out. And I think the listeners will get some cool things. And once we'll watch this, the Women's PGA Championship, we'll see if your prediction is right here in a month.
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks for having me, Nathan. I'm always happy to talk golf. It's what I love to do.
Thank you.